That's what it's all about. Yeah, or Bahaya, or let there be light, and there was light. Sound familiar? Anyway, I wanted to tell a little story about a little kid in a little borough named Brooklyn back in the 60s. Budding gardener. I was selling, I don't know where I got the idea to do this, probably in a magazine. It was a magazine called Boy's Life. And it was about camping and scouting and chemistry and mechanics, boy stuff. And I had a subscription to it. I'm like 6, 7 years old. Blood and spit, chewing ground up leaves. Ground up kratom leaves. Nitrogena speciosa. And I'm right here where they grow it. Where it is, unlike people, it is indigenous. People are not indigenous. People move around. They don't come up out of the ground. Plants and animals are indigenous. Polar bears are indigenous to the North Pole or to the poles. People move around. They plant roots here, they uproot them, and they move there, and they plant roots there. So when I hear indigenous, I'm thinking, what? It's a politicized term. It's not sociological or historic. Anyway. Oh yeah, so I was knocking on my neighbor's door selling these descriptions to Boys Life magazine. Hang on. Down at Gene Dodge Show, I don't even know what I have on the bed. Anyway. So I'm selling these subscriptions to my neighbors, and you know, you sell a certain number and you get a prize, a reward. And I don't know how or why. I mean, whatever the formula was, I ordered tomato seeds. Somehow I got a packet of tomato seeds. And there was a laundromat on the ground floor of the apartment building on Ocean Parkway in Gravesend, Brooklyn. And behind the laundromat was a patch of dirt, you know, about 10 yards by 10 yards where the exhaust from the dryers would empty out, and there were some benches for people to sit on while the laundry machines were doing their laundry machining. And I planted these tomato seeds in the ground there. It's like dusty, dirty Brooklyn laundromat soil. And every day I'd come down and I'd look at it, stare at the spot, and maybe every other day pour some water on it. Until like after about 2 weeks, I saw it sprout. I saw these green sprouts sprouting up from the ground. It was a surprise. I mean, that's the idea, that you know, you want these things to grow. But I don't think I really expected it to. So I was surprised, delighted to see it. I don't know if I succeeded in growing tomatoes, I doubt it, but that initial spotting of the green stem sprouting up out of the dusty soil from the laundry room backyard thrilled me. And now, 6 decades later, after a lifetime spent almost half of it in that, maybe probably more than half of them. The house plants. Actually, I had house plants wherever I lived, you know. Usually jades, which are like nearly impossible to kill. They just grow. But I was comforted by the process of facilitating growth and watching these green living things grow. And I still am, only now that I'm a gardener, this is my terrace garden in the tropics, I'm devoting a lot more attention, time, and energy to facilitating. Here's this guy. I call him Mr. Ugly. I say that lovingly. This is my cactus critter named Mr. Ugly. And when I got him, he was only like that big. Just the center mold. And I watered him, not too much, put him in the sun, and it took like months and nothing happened. And I'm looking at him and he's not dying, but he's not growing. But I hang in there. I've been through this before, where I take plants that are stagnating, or they look to be stagnating, and with patience, and with attention, and with just the right amount of care, I've been, not always, but often able to, revitalize them, or watch them revitalize themselves, while I do whatever I do to facilitate that process. And now, as you can see, Mr. Ugly's all over the place. I stroke him gently just to assure him, not actually just to feel it. The spikes here, the bristles they're bristly. You don't want to sit on this, but it's not so sharp that you can't just gently, very gently stroke it. And now, anyway, Mr. Ugly's doing very well. And my latest contribution, I'm going to show you right now. Here's another one, by the way. I'm not going to grab it because I don't want to get down there. Maybe I will. All right. Here's another cactus. Not quite ugly, more like a John Ford Western style. The valley, what's that called? Not Death Valley. That beautiful valley he shot all those classic westerns in. She wore a yellow ribbon at Stagecoach. Monument Valley? Somebody correct me. And no, here's my latest. This is an experiment. This guy was growing alongside a more mature plant. And I don't think he belonged there, so I gently uprooted him, prepared this bed of soil, and I like these shells. They're not coconuts, but I gathered them on the beach. I don't know what they are. But by the time I get a hold of them, they're hollowed out and washed up along the shore. And I love to use them as planters. So I used this guy as a planter. And I just did this like right before we're shooting. I don't know if he's going to take root here and thrive, or he's already a gardener, or on his way to being a gardener. But it's the process. It's the process and the successes that give me a sense of participation in the natural processes of what we finally call Mother Nature by the sea, alongside the peaceful Gulf of Siam, where I planted myself in my vanaprastha stage of life, which is ideal for this type of endeavor. I think I covered it. I could show you the rest of my plant kingdom, but I'm gonna pass on that for now because I don't want to change the camera angle. In any case, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is You Know Who. Him. You know who, you know where, and this is out.